Hey Pyros, Valmir here at Elite Fireworks with one more video on fireworks stands. So this video is more tailored towards I would say current fireworks business owners, as well as anyone who might be interested in potentially opening their own fireworks stand. Now obviously, depending on which part of the country you are, maybe in your region or in your area, there might not even be fireworks stands. So I know some states they allow tents. I know some states they don't allow any temporary locations. It's just fireworks store. Now obviously with fireworks stores, their entry barrier is a lot more expensive because any permanent structure costs a lot more. So if you want to get into the fireworks industry, obviously stands are a great option if your state or your county or your town, however in your area it is, that controls what they allow and what they don't allow for fireworks, because it does vary. Basically, I mean, I know some states it goes town to town. Some places like here, county to county is different, and state by state they do allow certain stuff or not. But anyway, so in this video I want to talk more about, like, let's say you got your first fireworks stand, but you want to scale to your second, third, fifth, 10th, or so on. Obviously it becomes a lot easier once you have a system established. So I want to share a little bit on basically what works with our system and how we stay organized. Now in this video though, I am not going to show everything, just because if I were to do that, it'll be a very long video. However though, there's plenty of content in our YouTube channel in regards to fireworks stands. Basically, I mean, we do have a 5-video series on Texas specifically. So if you're in Texas and you want to start in the fireworks industry, highly recommend you check the series in our YouTube channel, because it gives you a pretty accurate idea of what to expect for fireworks. But anyway, in this video I showed you a little bit of the stands here. I'm gonna go inside of our building and I want to show you a little bit how we organize our stands, as far as like just making sure our managers are able to run everything efficiently. Because the one thing about, first of all, when it comes to fireworks stands, because for instance here at the Elite Fireworks we are a team of 3, so it's myself and my two older brothers. However though, the problem is, even with us, because we did struggle in the beginning. For instance, we had 1 stand, 2 stands, 3 stands. We were doing great. If we were looking at sales per stand, we were doing very well. But then we took a jump, like I guess a leap, and we decided to open from 3 stands all the way to 7 stands. Now, it was I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit of chaos, because you gotta basically learn how to let go and kind of trust other people, as far as basically making sure they're doing the right thing. And it was a lot of hands-on. However though, I'll be honest with you, until 7 stands we were actually very close to quitting fireworks, period, just because it was a struggle. The stands that we were running ourselves, we were making money, and the ones that we had other people run, we were actually making barely anything. So it was a little bit of chaos. So what we decided to do, create a system. That's why if you've seen a recent video, I did show you guys the black box that we have here at the Elite Fireworks. Now basically that makes it easier, basically anything and everything that they need. So I highly recommend you watch that video, because I guess it's a second video to that will show it. But right here, what I'm actually going to show you is basically, this is the documents basically that our stand managers get. Obviously there's multiple locations, so each location has its own manila folder. Now with our managers, basically and then of course right here, I get a second copy for myself. The reason why I do that, if in case while our managers are stocking the stands, they lose, let's say for instance the pictures that we send, right, for stocking, I have a second copy that I can give it to them. But basically I just want to give you a quick overview of this so you'll know. So basically, obviously with all of our stands, we do have stocking details that we do require our managers to read. This is kind of like our template. See here. So obviously we want to make sure the aisles are clean, right? As you can see right there in this video, actually that's not a good, but anyway, if you notice on the left side, because here in Harris County, as of right now, the requirement is that anything under the window has to be closed box. So that's why these are all closed boxes, whereas you see on the right side, they're the actual open box. Now you can have a little bit of stuff hanging here as long as you have, I believe it's 30 inches. I might be incorrect, but that's why I highly recommend whatever county or whatever your regulations locally, make sure you read them so you know exactly, because this is just our experience, and obviously you run your business as you would like to, so we don't want to be held responsible. So I have to make this disclaimer for, you know, let's say if you get into the fireworks industry and you make an error. But anyway, so we have that. And then one thing that, for instance, if you notice all of our Elite fireworks stands, just like they were organized in the outside, you know, they all look the same. And basically the same thing with our store, even inside is very organized. We have the same system for the stands, where there's actually 11 sections that are divided in our stand. Now, why do we divide it into 11 sections? That's because locally regulations, as far as like the shelving within for stands, they have to be within a certain period. So you have to put a wall, so if in case there was a fire, it's supposed to prevent for any bigger explosion. So for instance, if you notice in section 1, we have a full wall here. Again, please check whatever your regulations are, but this is what works for us. So just an idea. But the reason why we do this, now when you're scaling your business, the number one problem that we see with a ton of fireworks stands out there, and even companies that have scaled their business, is majority of the companies that have multiple stands, what they do is they'll give you the fireworks and you decide however you want to stock it. They don't give you a template. So you might go to, let's say, fireworks stand X, and you might go for fireworks stand X in a different location and another location. So you notice that company, right? If you go in each stand, everything looks stocked up all over the place. I mean, from our experience, we've seen, and that's why we created a system. Just like in our store, how we have all the shelves in one section, we have the same thing with our stand. So if I'll show you the picture, so that's something that we do that's different, but it does help us because that gives a better customer experience. Because obviously if you go to an Elite fireworks stand, you're going to see similar items in the same section. So section 1 is basically large cakes that we have. Section 2, you have for instance, section 3 right here, zippers and no abs on top, large cakes, the standard 200-gram cakes in the bottom section. So all of our stands have the same layout of the shelving, and then all our managers, they do stock them the same. Now, we are picky, but we don't go, let's say, as an example, they get Nishiki Super Rack, right? I'm not going to complain at one of our managers if they didn't put Nishiki Super Rack right there. As long as they put it anywhere in this section where it belongs in its section, we're okay. Now, what this allows our managers even to, and because they do have to hire their team to work, as you can see, section 4 is all artilleries. For instance, when they're training their team, they don't have to, it makes it very easy for them. So it's the same thing that we have in the store here, right? Whenever we have new team members, we just tell them, all right, guys, this wall right here, all the way to the end, this is the wall of artillery shells. There's different variations. There's the ball shells, such as the small ones right there, and then the bigger one, you have the canister shells. This whole section, you put the ball in the tube or the canister, you light it up, you move back, explosion happens in the air, and then you repeat the process for however many shots there is, right? So the same thing. So if you're having a team member that doesn't know nothing about fireworks, they will be able to remember that. This section all up, reloadable. Bam. So the same thing, because the number one problem, if things are not organized, you might have, and again, we've seen this ourselves, you might have canisters right here, and then they might put a fountain right there. So a box and a box, right? If you don't know fireworks, you know, we have boxes of fountains like this that look, for instance, you have the extra large 5-inch canister shell, as well as you have the traffic light right here, right, from T-Sky. A box and a box. If you don't know fireworks, you're going to make the mistake. So by being organized, we prevent even our team members, even if they higher team, like the team that they hire, don't know much about fireworks, they're not going to make a crucial mistake that telling the traffic light fountain is going to go up 150 feet in the air, because you're going to lose customers that way. Because if they expect something to go up in the air but it's actually a fountain, they're going to feel like they got robbed. So that's why it's all about the details. So by being very organized, it will allow you not only to scale your business, but also have one uniform look. So anyway, I'll show you real quick. So these are all the different sections. Section 5, noisemaker. Section 6, miscellaneous stuff, including the rockets and swords on top. Fountain, section 7. And then the rest are all packages, right? So anyway, and then as I mentioned, there's total of 11 sections. We do also give them an inventory sheet here. So obviously, prices do vary from our store to our stands, because in stand we actually include taxes. The reason we do that is because unlike the store where we have a point of sale system where we scanned everything, in our stands we don't have a point of sale system. We have one Clover Mini, this is what we do basically, where they do card transaction, but as far as like cash, there's not a lot of cash transaction, luckily, so it's just a good thing. But when we do, for instance, card transaction, they just custom, right? So everything has to be more like manual. It's more of manual running. So we do give our managers, for instance, by categories, an inventory sheet. So for instance, the quantity of product that they got, the name of the product within the category. So you have artillery shells, and then you have different variations. So there's the large, medium, and small artilleries. And then the units per case. The reason why we share the units per case is because whenever they have to do the inventory back again, it's very important that they know how many there is. Because let's say they didn't sell, let's say hypothetically, we don't have an example, but yeah, so Hydro Bond, notice that they got 10 total individual items, which is actually units per case 3. So they got 3 1/3 of a case, right? In this stand specifically. So if they don't know the units per case and they have already opened the box, they could make the mistake. So just to make it easier for calculation, and then that's the price that we sell in the stands. The prices are a little bit higher in the stand, but because taxes are included, although we do have some specific specials for the stand. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it as far as this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know if you're not looking into getting into the fireworks industry, it can be a little bit boring what I'm sharing, but I hope if this is something that you're interested, you know, I do want to let you guys know that we do, I guess I'm doing a shameless plug here. So if you are interested in wholesaling, if you're interested in getting into the fireworks industry, or maybe you already are in the fireworks industry and want to add some of our exclusive item collection, we do wholesale. So check the description below for the application for our wholesale division for retailers. Like, we would love to work with you, as it is a new division for us and we're looking to grow that aspect. But if you found this video helpful in any way, make sure you hit a thumbs up, because it really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, guys, we'll see you guys in another video right here on our channel. Bye bye.